and it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane, and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions. Oh, welcome back everybody, and welcome to another round of Formula Sundays. Tonight, I have a newcomer in the casting booth with me. Not quite a newcomer to casting, but certainly to FS. We've got Solar with us.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, I am perfectly fine, and you yourself on this?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm a little bit fish out of water here. I mean, it's as you say, first time I've done Formula Sundays. First time I've done any F1 casting. My go-to is usually Rocket League, so just have to bear with me, I think. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, like you're decently into F1, and mostly we're just like talking about as if we were just watching any ordinary race, regardless. So sure,
Yes,
you're fine.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I've heard well prepared and better prepared than I am.
Yes, yeah, I've come with some notes and I've been provided with a little bit of assistance for Ashel. He sat down before he started warming up and just compiled a document for me. It's quite cute. And it's got pictures. It's got everything you could possibly want out of it. So
God.
if he's half as prepared for this race as he is for making a document for me, I think he'll do all right.
Dude, you might have not seen it, but I'm on board with Martin right now, and he's managed to completely plant it in a wall on his outlap.
Yep, Sector 3. That's a good one. Lose your front wing on an outlap as well, as you said. That's,
yeah, he was just going like slalom, warming up his tires maybe, and well. I've jumped on board with Nitro's AlphaTauri now because he's the first car on the hot lap.
Yeah.
We're just gonna see what kind of benchmark.
Get one of those markers down just nice and early in the session, and hopefully avoid some, front wing going through that third sector.
All right. Jimsky, like audio check again. I'm closer to my mic now. Apparently, you were loud in comparison to me, but I think this should be fixed if I actually talk into my mic. But yeah, Ocean has joined, which is great. Second AlphaTauri, and Fabian is hopefully joining soon as well. Will be another Aston Martin.
Yeah, on the first sector. So Garnier, yeah, he he's had a little bit of an issue, but carried on. One in the second sector as well, but I think that's just Seeker. Looks like Seeker slowing down to let one of the McLarens pass.
Yeah. Like the game does not really realize well when there's a crash or if there's just somebody leaving someone else past. But 117 for Nitro. I mean, the circuit, of course, with the new layout, quite a little bit faster than it was still a couple of years ago. Kingsman going on the Inters as well. Curious to see his time.
An interesting decision there. A Nitro with a significant, first lap down compared to some of the others that have put in.
Yeah.
A nice 4/10 gap.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, you've been given some good info. Any predictions on like pole position or like race winner here?
I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, it's going to be a big miss that Tiancha's not quite there. A lot of decent laps coming in early. Aside from obviously Kingsman, who's on the Inters, Ashel looking a little bit off the pace. Possibly Seeker, I could see him doing something, but it's a real toss up here with Kingsman obviously on those inters and Tianxia missing. Those are the only 2 race winners sort of so far ahead of the winter break that's coming up after we inevitably go through Canada next week as well. So, you know, pole position is really there for the taking for just about anyone, and as we know, it can make a big difference leading that first corner, especially, you know, with the shorter amount of laps that we do here. Not a lot of time to make up said positions. Gets a little bit hectic in that first corner.
Yeah, I mean, I sure hope it's not do or die into that first turn. Would be, yeah, not advisable, I guess. We've had like, start of the season there, the red flag restart in the very end, where like half the field crashed. I mean, there's plenty of DRS zones. I would think that maybe you can overtake on this track, but I'm not really sure. I have only seen, I think, 1 race on this. But on the pole position, like, yeah, I agree. There's so many good drivers right now here. Lixty and Phantominum also only 4,000s apart as of now. I do believe Kingsman should be the quickest driver we have going right now, if he decides to put on a correct set of tires. But yeah, it could be anyone for the race win, really. Dimsky even saying it's Astral or Nitro to win.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Martin looked like he was on a good one. He got a purple first sector, but just coming out that DRS zone through that second sector, just lost it round one of the corners there and invalidating his lap. So he could be someone to watch out for, aside from obviously early doors putting it in the wall in his first outlap and already having replaced his front wing. But until that invalidated lap, just track limits, it looked like it was for it. He did look good.
Yeah. I mean, Martin had, like, I think a couple of years ago, already had some experience in Challenger Tier when we had it back then. I think he even came second, or he has won it. I think he came second. So, yeah, he's been around. Wait, Ocean has joined, but he has not picked a seat, and Fabian has just joined. Maybe he has some more success picking a seat? I don't know.
Oh, fingers crossed. The more competitors we have, the better.
Yeah.
Martin's going for another flying lap by the looks of things. See if we can keep it tight through there this time. It does. It's better.
Yes.
No mistake this time.
Almost out of energy though. So I don't know if actually it might be enough to get him through to the end, because he recharged some in these turns. But it's gonna be tight for Martin. I mean, it's gonna be tight. There's still 10 minutes left, so plenty of time to still set a lap. But the first one is gonna come out here for him. 119 flat puts him, yeah, a good bit down from the top guys right now.
I look like Skinnier had a same issue as Martin did on his flying laps. That turn 12, just keeping it on the track as they're exiting that corner. And again, Martin looked like he was on for a good lap first time around, so may find himself a little bit frustrated that he's in P6 at the moment, at 119. No one yet to beat Nitro.
Yeah, that's true. I'm really curious what Kingsman can cook up when he finally cooks. Seeker's also going, who was, I think, close to a race win at some point in the season. He is currently P3 in the championship, already 14 points behind Kingsman in P2 though, but yeah, he has been in decent finishing positions at least. So.
Coming up the line, it looks decent. I puts in P4. Again, Nitro setting the standard, and a few people really able to challenge him to that. It's a big gap being 4/10 out in front.
Yeah, for sure. Lixty has just started another lap, and is certainly one of the candidates I would expect to go up into these times. Okay, Ocean has left the session for now. Maybe he really had a problem selecting the car. Also, Slipstream is strong AF apparently, okay. Good to know. I mean, I guess like there's 3 or 4 turns where you like brake very slightly, and the rest is just full speed at this point because they rounded out the corners so much. So yeah, might just be almost an oval track, I guess.
And 2 really big sections of DRS where it almost gets split into 2. So you can see the 2 detection points, but they're long old straights, and it's all about just getting your nose in front, leading into that corner, because the corners do come in tight. So you can just get your nose in front, avoid a little bit of contact.
I mean,
get yourself in a good position. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's never that simple though. Let's be honest. Oh, it's Lexi Sex fastest, and it's 3/10 faster than Nitro. There, it's a solid 1 purple right throughout.
Yeah, big jump there. Fentaminum also just PB'd, did not gain him any positions, but he's only less than a 10th down of Nitro now in P3, so at least some improvement. I think Seeker, is on an in-lap. Anybody else out is Daddy driving?
Oh, yeah, Daddy just, it looked like he just done him.
Yeah, he did.
Flying lap.
Okay.
You still in the pit, biding their time as well.
Kingsman also set to not set a lap. I guess maybe in how do you say it? Like, given that Tiancha isn't there, like he just decided not to start from far in the front.
Play it safe. Make sure you just get some points on the board.
Oh, no,
and hopefully not find himself in an incident turn 1.
This is the actual reason. He didn't do it because his main rival is not there. He is actually doing it because he expects turn 1 to be an absolute fiesta.
Living with Arsenal now, I can hear the sort of strategies that the 2 of them are coming up with, and they are very much accounting for a possible early safety car, and what the plan is from there. Is Deddy runs wide and helps to pit.
Yeah. Let's see, I think Martin has just started a hot lap. Would probably expect to get at least half a second there into that P4 area quicker. What is with Mr.
Uber looking pacey here.
Setting laps. Okay.
Yeah, this is Uber's flying lap. He does improve. He goes up to P4, but again, still a little bit off the pace. What, 7/10 there from Lexi in first? But it's a decent one. It puts him in a battling position early on. Whether it stays that case with 5 minutes left in this session is a very different story.
Also, Jimsky, regarding Qualiban, isn't it like in real life when you don't participate in Qualiban is through? Like, this was what I would have said. Yeah. Like, I don't know. But yeah, Mr. Genya, for impeding, I think, had a Qualiban last time around. So, I'm not quite sure. This is probably also not clarified in the rulebook, which is maybe a little bit of an oversight. But 1:18.1 here by Martin is that exact second that I thought he needed to go quicker here up into P4, just barely behind his teammate. And yeah, a decent improvement. He's probably gonna have one more chance. 4 minutes is enough to get in and out again.
Just a question of whether he's satisfied with not. I mean, you'd think at the very least Nitro is absolutely within touching distance there. The 600s he's got to make up, so you could be looking at a front row start.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, just as watching maybe as Seeker comes around in a slow lap, I'm trying to think who's going to be on that right hand side just as they leave the line, because if you do get that P2, you may actually end up having the inside line going into the first corner. Can't really tell from who we're looking at the moment.
Okay, just given the discussion in the chat for Jimsky, I think for now, for this one, I did not have in mind. We should have told him before, and in my opinion, it should be applied as Seagull has said. Regardless, we didn't tell him he wasn't allowed to this one. So I guess he's just gonna be able to start there, because in my opinion, feels correct. Just out on points already by not driving. And yeah, that's that for now. Astral coming over the line right now, and also improving.
He does improve, but it's only by 2/10. Can't imagine he'll be too happy with that.
He also did not gain a position.
No.
We have Fabian and Ocean on outlaps. Ocean is gonna start his next lap in a few seconds. Here we go. And
Nitro close behind as well.
Yeah, unless Ocean has more fuel, of course, to make another lap. This is probably his only attempt.
Fabian also coming round, and it does, yeah, just had a look at a couple of the onboards there, and it does look like P1 starts on the left hand side, which would be the outside line leading in that corner, so really need a good launch to make sure you keep that going into it. So if Phantominium can improve and just get ahead of Nitro there, favourable for leading coming out of that first two corners.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, another thing, I don't know how realistic the game is with that, but racing line, of course, goes on the left, and usually when there's like a racing line on one of the sides of the track, it has like significantly more grip because there's just more rubber. I don't know if this applies to like this left side, if the game is that precise, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting regardless, I guess. Ocean into P6 here. Let's see where Fabian is. Invalidated his lap. That is a little bit of a yikes. He has one more
Not
chance.
good, because he's not exactly left with a lot of time here. This has got to be his last attempt at it without a lap on the board. So he's got to definitely keep it in the lines, and whether that means he sacrifices that little bit of pace, he's again and spun. That is a disaster for Fabian, and he will start from the back of the grid as a result.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not too bad, as Fabian has the great skill of attracting trouble into turn 1.
Which, if you're looking at that, Kingsman's plan completely out the window.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I assume they're gonna be very cautious regardless, and let the guys ahead do their thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure why this is always such a like tight thing into turn 1. Maybe it's because the turn isn't actually that bad and you can take it reasonably side by side. So many people just try more. But
like stay satisfied with his lap and just comes into the pit instead. He thinks he's safe and quite comfortable. Nitro is spun off track, but wasn't setting anything either.
Seeker there kind of thrown off guard by the car standing there, and now lost a little bit in this third sector. Can he still improve though? Nope, half a second slower.
There won't be any improvement from Phantominium either, as he invalidated his lap. Nothing from Martin.
Daddy is still going. And he is 0.2 ahead after sector 2. See how well this last bit went for him. There's
one for it.
And 0.2 improvement, but no positional improvement for him. Too far behind Seeker.
Faber in the pit, and Ocean not setting a fast lap here either. So we have our grid going into the race here in Australia, Albert Park.
Yeah, honestly, very interesting top few positions there, especially 2 to 4 here, super close together, only 2/10 apart. Phantominium, I think, had a little bit of a weaker start to the season, but has definitely shown up last week, and well, quali time looks promising, so who knows what we may see from him in race pace.
Oh, Nitro saying that when we saw him go onto the grass there, he had 2 purple sectors. He was purple in 1 and 2 and spun on the final turn.
Ah, that's unlucky. That is really
Disaster
unlucky.
there for him.
Ah well, yeah. The grid right here. 12 drivers are gonna start this race, and Lixty is gonna be leading them, had the pace advantage in quali. Unless, of course, Nitro could have gotten that last lap in. Really curious about what happens in the race, especially since I think there is a bug where you can get stuck on the last curb, on the start-finish straight, on the last corner exit, and it just
Absolutely
stops.
no doubt we'll see that.
It stops the car dead, like from 200 to 0, and I don't know, man. Maybe I've jinxed it now, but I really hope we're gonna get around that today, because I would absolutely hate like a collision like that where it's just a straight up bug deciding the race event.
Only one way to find out, I suppose.
Yeah. Jimsky saying it's quite rare, but it can happen, and we got no ghosting. If it's P1, it will kill the entire grid. Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh well. Just advise the drivers to be careful around that last turn. Surely nothing.
I mean, surely, right?
Yeah.
What
This
could
game never
possibly
had,
go wrong here?
Game always works flawlessly. Never had any problems.
Gonna deliver a nice, clean race with no issues whatsoever and absolutely no bugs that leave us questioning what has happened and if it's all worth it.
Alright, I hear timer ticking down though, so I assume we're gonna be thrown into the race
Very quickly.
part here. There is no formation lap because that stuff is bugged. Lights are out for me. Let's see when we're getting away.
Yeah, me too. Oh, and we're away.
Yep, and Lixie with medium tires might have a hard time on the start. Let's see how Nitro can do. It's not necessarily doing well. The Ferrari's already around the outside. Cuts the grass a little bit there, goes through the inside. Gets re-overtaken by Nitro. And further down we have a couple of positions changing as well there. Martin in battle, wheeling there between like P3 and 6. But I think overall everybody just stayed very close to their positions. Not many changes, and yeah.
Ooh, Daddy ran a bit wide there, but otherwise, yeah, not too many changes. Not a hot start for Kingsman. And Fabian's made up 2 places, but Kingsman on the hards, Hassel having significant problems. In fact, he's all the way at the back behind his teammate. And Hassel on softs, Kingsman on hards does let him back through, but very clean start actually. I'm impressed.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of contact, and I'm fairly sure I've seen like 1 or 2 cars like slightly hit the wall, but it does not seem like anybody has gotten any major damage here, and yeah, that's a big W for these guys. It's just, I don't know, the next question is probably how long Lixie can keep Nitro behind on the soft tire. Soft medium is
not very long at all by the looks thing. Nitro going for it around that first corner makes it look easy. In fact, clean through and leads the race.
Yeah. Medium soft is certainly a viable strategy here, I think. And it's probably going to get you through this race without too many issues. I have no insight on the strategies. I know Jimsky could elaborate in the chat. I'm sure he's made some more, or he did plot some more in the strategy department. Yeah, soft medium for challenger, okay. Medium hard, elite. Well.
Very surprising to see Kingsman on the hards then.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to try and, at minimum, go for a long time and hopefully keep himself in that touching distance. But there are a couple of gaps forming. Ocean starting to be in a little bit of a race of his own as Deddy drops a full 2 seconds behind him, and Ocean drop off the back of Thubert as well.
Yeah, up here. Oh, slight rear ends, and there is a little bit of a bigger rear end here. Mr. Genya and Seeker spun out and off the track. They're going again, but Seeker, of course, lost a lot of time. He did, I think, touch the Haas first and then maybe slowed down so much that the Williams could not quite go past. Lixty making a move into turn 3 and back into the lead for him.
Yeah, it's a good recovery considering on the mediums and going to want to go longer than those soft, so he can keep that lead and maybe just build it as the soft runners behind him, Nitro and Phantom start to pit, can just build up that little bit of a gap that should make his pit safer in theory, but the DRS open for Nitro and makes that look comfortable going into turn 11.
Yeah, it's gonna have another run of it here. I think, yeah, there's 2 detection points and you have like 2 zones for each activation.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess it's gonna be Lixty with the DRS then on the next one, but also all the cars behind, Phantominum and Thuber, close enough to try things potentially. Oh, yellow flags. Oh, someone has spun, I think, the Ferrari there.
That's a safety car as well.
Yeah, the entire front wing gone. That was a big one. I think he spun and crashed into the pit wall. Being left past by Fabian again, because it's probably already been yellow flags.
Oh, Daddy gets a penalty for ignoring a red flag as well, which is incredible.
Oh my god, no!
Fabian's just hit the safety car, he's out!
Oh no! The unsafety car returns. Oh.
I can hear Astral screaming from his room as well. He's seen it. I don't know if it's in laughter, I don't know if it's hilarity, I don't know if it's fear, rage. He seems to be fine. He got a front row view to that, but who else but Fabian? Let's be honest here.
The best thing is he has already done this before. He did not die there, but he lost his entire front wing to a safety car just like changing line randomly in Austin. I think this one is fully on him. Safety car was just parking on the left there, but oh god. It's kind of funny that it happened twice.
It's all gone wrong for him. Yeah, Deddy getting that 5-second penalty as well, which, I mean, it's just one of those in-game things. I don't know how much you can do about it. The incentive there was obviously for him to give the position back, but with Phantominum, you're not getting going as quickly as maybe hoped. Deddy got to look to serve his, well, he'll have to serve his penalty here, which then obviously makes things even more difficult because it's one of those ones you can't really claim back in the end, as a few people do come into pit. Hard tires going on.
I mean, he does not lose too many positions because of this. Like, he did go down by 4 or something, but there's people going past him who did not pit and were behind him. So, like, even though he has lost 4 positions, realistically, like 2 or 3 of those were just guys ahead of him who just drove past because they didn't need to pit.
Mr. Genier, the only one still on softs, which is it's a decision. He's clearly got some sort of idea of how this is going to go in his head. Maybe banking on another safety car, who knows? But everyone else now on mediums or hards.
I'm reading the chat. Hards don't make it to the end from here on good pace. So, like, it's either gonna be, well, you're gonna be slow towards the end of it, or, yeah, you're just gonna generally struggle to make it through. So,
Nitro on the mediums. Fresh mediums, might I add, so... He's clearly anticipating another pit stop.
Safety car already coming in. Also another thing I've read earlier, the pit lane here is relatively short. It's only costing you about 16 seconds, which should be one of the shortest of all. So yeah, you can definitely do the thing that Nitro did here, and go medium maybe. I think he started softs. So this could be working out for him very well. Let's go to the front. Let's see when Lixty goes. And I think he's going right now.
Yes,
oh
indeed.
my god.
That was interesting from Kingsman. He maybe didn't get enough. He's maybe not got enough heat in his tires, considering he is on the hards, and they will have cooled down a little bit throughout that safety car. I think you are right in saying that Nitro, yeah, he did start on the softs, so he doesn't have to. Technically, doesn't have to pit again.
Yeah.
But we would imagine he would, because 15 laps on the mediums is going to be a long run, especially if the hards are believed to not make it to the end. The mediums certainly won't, but it keeps him within touching distance of that front pack of drivers who have all yet to pit.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, these top guys, I'm curious what they're gonna do here. Thuber and Lixty now properly fighting for the first position here. Top 3 also on like same aged tires, so it's very leveled between them now. Kingsman all of a sudden finding himself up into P4 as well already. He's gonna be able to pretty much choose his strategy. He could go longer and try to get softs to the end. Could just pit early with the others and try to get a good medium run in. It's really his choice here. He has a lot of options.
Gambling on an early safety car, it does look like, as you say, it's paid off for him. He's keeping pace with Ocean as well, considering he's on those hards. It's a really good gamble he's got, and as you say, he's got the pick at the strategy. As long as he sort of keeps himself up that top end, then it's all open. Oh, Skinner just about runs wide, and he's found himself in a battle with Seeker here. Martin right behind just about keeps his place as Martin runs a little bit wide, but it's getting tasty in that mid-battle, and I think it's a big move for Nitro to have got past on that first lap, because Skinner was losing pace as Kingsman moves up one as well. It's all go.
A three-way battle here between Seeker, Martin, Mr. Genya here. It looks like the Williams is a slight bit slower than the cars behind. They really look eager to get past, but as of now, Martin's still stuck behind the Williams and, well, Seeker behind the Ferrari. Let's see if there's going to be the move here. They're using a lot of ERS. Martin ultimately just positions his car nice and well on the inside. Just goes through. And Mr. Genya now being passed by the Ferrari. Up battle here, battle for P1. Uber is looking for a move, but can't quite find the gap. And oh, there's contact between Nitro and Kingsman. And Nitro being spun off the track here. Did recover before hitting the wall. Ultimately gonna cost him like 5 seconds. He's gonna be dropped right back into that battle there. Which is probably gonna cost him a lot of pace in the long run here.
Yeah, DRS enabled again, and there's not a lot of cars in that top 5 that have it. It's only Thua and Lexi that really got it. Mr. Genia really seems to be struggling to keep it on the track as well. I don't know if there's something wrong with the car, the tires, or if it's just the pressure of having people behind him. But Thuber leads the race now. He's got the DRS through on Lexi, and he'll get it here again, just coming through the third sector. Deddy, another penalty for him. Poor boy, he's not having a great day. Down in 10th and 3 seconds added.
Some contact here between Seeker and Nitro again, as they all have DRS here. It's a almost 4-way battle there, with Astral getting involved here as well. Running very wide here, 4 cars within a tenth of a second there briefly. Let's see how that start-finish straight is gonna look like. Mr. Genya at this point.
Oh, Seeker's spun.
Oh my god!
Oh, Astral has very much put him in the wall there. I don't know if there was already contact that made him lose that pace, whether it was Astral or Nitro in front that's caused it, but just cleaned out in the end, and he's going to have to pit. That's surely caused him some damage.
Contact there between the top two as well. Lixty almost spinning into the wall. Thuber thus running wide and getting the first corner cut penalty here. Not gonna lie, these guys are touching themselves a little bit more than a clean race would probably deliver to us, but well, at least most of them are still going.
Yeah, Seeker obviously having to pit after that. He's gone on to the softs just to make up some time, because those softs aren't exactly gonna go to the end. This again here has also pit, so those softs weren't working for him. He's gone on the hard, so he may look to go to the end himself with 4 drivers still left to pit. And Kingsman has actually made up that time. He was over a second behind, but that contact between Thuber and Lixie has kind of brought him back in. He's within DRS range now and still on those hard tires. He's looking good.
Yeah, Kingsman, of course. I think the contact between him and Nitro was probably on him, so he maybe need. Oh my God, Lixie into the wall. Oh, Oh no! And then unsafely re-entering.
Ocean's gone.
Oh, and Martin is also gone. Oh God! And what?
Nitro's just hit Ocean. 3 of them are out.
How is Lixie alive? Even he hit like 4 different cars. Oh God!
What just happened? Car after car after car makes contact there. Finally, we get the safety car. That was so long before anything kicked into effect. But I'll tell you what, Astral's found himself 4th, Deddy 5th, Phantominium 6th, and 4 drivers now out.
Yeah, that was like majorly unsafe re-entry by Lixie there, just reversing straight onto the racing line, then I think collecting Nitro, who then collected Ocean.
I think it was Ocean. Ocean that hit him first, and then Nitro hit Ocean, and Martin somewhere in that mess just could not avoid it.
It was absolute chaos afterwards. Yeah, 3 cars like just standing on the track.
And after all that, Lixie limps away from it and is in 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, someone's saying here, like, do they have team managers? The thing is, you can't even have enough spectators to have, like, team managers for each of the teams. I'm not sure if all people are coming. I assume Kingsman and Astral, for example, are
Yes, they will be, yeah.
Yeah, usually, so. If it's 2 Mercedes, they are in comms as well. I don't know if any other teams do actually do voice comms.
Look at this. Look who leads. For Astral himself. Kingsman has pit for mediums, and maybe that safety car a little bit early for him. It was a decent stint on those hards, but I think he may have wanted to go longer, and his hard work has left him P3 with only 8 drivers left, but I feel like that may have actually gone against him, you know. And Thubert, fresh sauce behind Astral on the old hards, so I'm not sure that Astral will be able to hold it for much longer after that safety car pits.
The thing is, if he can just stay behind Thuber, he's probably gonna be fine, because I doubt that the softs are gonna be good by the end of this race. Of course, the hards are not gonna be brilliant neither, but 9 laps on the softs is probably a quite long stint here.
Though they will be 15-lap-old hards by that end too.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a bit of a toss-up here, and do you know what? As we say, like, Kingsman, 9-lap mediums, he might be alright. He might be alright, you know. It was a good hard stint. He got himself into a good position, P3, 2 safety cars. And by the time the safety car goes in, you're looking at maybe what, 6 laps on those mediums. Deddy's got a penalty behind him. Thuber's got a penalty in front of him. Astral on hards that have 6 laps old. Kingsman might be on for his 3rd win of the season in 3 races that he's ran, because I believe there was 1-2 weeks ago that he didn't take part in.
Yeah.
So 3 for 3 will be a fantastic return for him.
Yeah, for sure. Could build up a little bit of a lead in the championship as well. The Ferrari's getting back into the pits here, even though he is on fresh softs. I'll probably need it to pit to drive 2 different compounds, and now that he was 7th regardless, he may just take another pit stop, get the best tire for now, because I think Kingsman and Daddy are definitely on the best option here, strategy-wise. For the hards, they're not going to be as quick in the end. The softs are probably not going to be as alive in the end. So, yeah, maybe the Ferrari can still make up some positions here in the later stages of the race, as you said correctly. I think we're looking at like 7 racing laps. Maybe a safety car is going to come in by the end of this one, so could be 8. But yeah, it's not that short to go, but it's not that long neither.
Based on what we've seen already, a 3rd safety car is entirely possible.
Yeah.
So it could throw a spanner in the works again, but everyone just about caught up after Phantom Medium. It has pit for the mediums. He's caught up to the back of the pack again, so there's not going to be any issues for him on the restart. And as we said, safety car in this lap, so 7 racing laps to go here. So we'll set us running. I don't know when the last time that'll be. Has he been in this position before? Who knows?
To be honest, I don't know.
He'll be a bit confused. Does he know the protocol? Is he going to know how much to slow the cars behind him down, when to get everyone going again, and see how those hard tires run?
Yeah, to be honest, I think like for him the main difficulty would be getting the tires up to temperature. He's also very close to the safety car still. There is a thing when you overtake the safety car, even when it is in the pits.
Oh!
Yeah, but this one is on Thuber. Theoretically, you're supposed to be fully behind the car in front. I mean, Astral seizes the opportunity for the restart, and also Kingsman is just
about. I nearly got Thuber there. He might still go down the inside, and he does.
Yeah.
Currently, we've got a McLaren 1-2.
Yes, and I think like Kingsman could be the good teammate and just block for Astral here, because he's likely going to be able to make up time and get Astral if he wants, regardless.
A little bit of a slide and a snap there for Astral, so it's all piled up right behind him. But if he can maintain it for the first 2 laps, that there's not going to be the DRS, still finds himself in a very favourable position. And if the McLarens can just pull out that gap, even 2 on the podium is going to be a fantastic return for them, especially looking at qualifying, where you've got Astral starting P8 or P9 and Kingsman P11 to find themselves 1 and 2 at the moment, just keeping out of trouble, as he looks to have just let Kingsman pass on the faster one, but as a result surrenders position to Thuber and forced a little bit wide as well.
Oh god, Lixty just absolutely sent it there, but in return, because he cut the track and had to give back position, overtaken by almost 4 cars. This was
contact with Daddy this time.
This is on Lixty. That's just too greedy there, I think, to stick a wheel in there, try to get through. It's just not a move on. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it sure looked like Lixty had like the superior pace, but okay, yeah, he retired. I don't know if that's just crashing in turn 1 or just.
Why Seeker DNF'd? We've lost Seeker as well. A turn later and Seeker's gone. We have 6 cars left. We've lost half the grid.
Honestly, I am not sure why this happened. I mean, he was so far behind. I can only assume he did not want to continue neither. Otherwise, I am not entirely sure how to crash in that point. Like, he didn't even like fly across the sand and like hit into the other barrier. It looked like he DNF'd before turn 3.
He's typing in Challenger General, so we may get a bit of information as to what's gone on there. But looking at the intervals here, and Astral's in the wall. Oh, goodness me. He's lost the end plate on his front wing. It's all gone wrong for him when he looked to be in a good position. And with DRS now enabled, he's going to be just about the only driver on the track that won't get it.
Yeah.
Well, Teddy as well, I suppose. And Mr. Guinea, he's not keeping pace at all on those hards. It's really got to be between Kingsman and Thuber, who Kingsman not holding a penalty, Deddy with a penalty as well. So it's all been just a big mess.
Yeah, a little bit.
Here
Yeah.
in Australia.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Fentaminum, I think, on his fresher mediums is certainly expected to get past Mr. Gagne at some point. Just has the better tires. We saw it in quali. He has slightly better pace as well. So should not be a big issue here. DRS and through purple sector even. And I think Daddy is gonna be next on the menu. I don't think he can defend for long. Up here, actually, here Kingsman Thuber could still be an interesting battle. I'm not sure if Kingsman might be penalized for the incident where I think he turned Nitro around in turn 1. So, like, Thuber has a 3-second, of course, for corner cuts, but Kingsman could get, for example, a warning in 3 seconds for that incident. So they might be fighting for position.
Oh, how they didn't make contact through there is beyond me. It got wheel to wheel through the first 2 corners. They're still battling away. That looked like contact again between the two. Kingsman fighting hard, considering, as you say, he may have had that contact with Nitro, and that may come back around, but as it stands, he's really just got to keep within 3 seconds of Thuber.
Yeah.
Who is on soft tires, so I don't understand why he's fighting it that hard. He may want to just win it, on track, but there's contact again between the two.
Yeah, slight wheel banging here, but yeah, what I said, like, you never know who's gonna get penalized or not. I think fighting for position, especially if you only have that 3 seconds penalty, certainly valid. I mean, yes, at the same time, kind of have to keep in mind he still has to go 4 more laps on these softs. And I think, like, in about 2... maybe already.
Yeah.
I was about to say...
there.
Yeah, in about 2 laps we're gonna hit the spot where the softs fall off a cliff, but this already does not look great grip-wise.
No, I was, just thinking that if Kingsman does just keep it clean and keeps it close, that he will get his chance to just get past and pull away again by the time we get to lap sort of 19 and 20, and it becomes a lot easier. Ashel has pit, he's gone onto the softs. I don't know how much is left in this race for him, as he does put a new wing on. So possibly Ashel's strategy here is just fastest lap to hopefully pull out 1 more point.
Yeah, he was last anyways, so it makes sense, right? To just try to get that point away. Fentaminum is just behind Deddy now, and is probably gonna go for a move soon, and depending on how much Kingsman and Uber are gonna fight up in front there, he might still be a danger as well, because if they keep fighting, they're losing time. I mean, so do Deddy and Fentaminum here, because at last 2 overtaking attempts cost them almost 2 seconds here.
I think Fentaminum is keeping a level head here. There were opportunities for him to sort of send it down the inside, but realizing that Deddy has a penalty, which is a track limits one, there's no need for him to sort of stick a nose in where it might cost him, the rest of his race. Ultimately, he's got through this time eventually, and it's just going to be a case of pull away, pull up a gap, and hopefully close in on Thuber, who has that penalty. And you're looking at possibly a P2 here for Fentaminum, who has made a decent recovery in the end. But just, again, one of those ones where you just don't want to stick it in too hard against someone who is carrying that penalty, because if you make contact, cause yourself a problem, then it just ends up hurting your race in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for now it's just going to be interesting. I think Phantominum already gained about 0.5 on Thuber, and he needs to be within like 3 seconds. So for P2 at least, and depending on what kind of moves Thuber thinks he can be driving against Kingsman, the top 2 might even lose even more time, but it's such a short distance to go still, like 2 more laps from now on. Really not that much time for the Ferrari to catch up, and in fact, he's been re-overtaken by Daddy. Must have lost it somewhere because...
Yeah, it looks like a mistake because it's a whole second gap already to Daddy. Oh, and Thuber's lost it in some way, shape, or form. He's hit the wall, front wing
God.
possibly gone, and yeah, he's backed up into the wall on his recovery there.
Yeah.
Yeah, front wing gone. So even if Kingsman does get a penalty, he looks pretty comfortable. 6-second gap to Daddy now. That's going to be 3 for 3. And Astral does put in the fastest lap as well. So even though he made a rather big mistake and hit a wall, a little bit more points brought in from McLaren. They may well, I believe, take the lead again in the Constructors if my math serves me correctly.
Honestly, I would have to whip out the Constructors table right now, again.
And Mercedes were on 89, McLaren on 62. No Tiencha today at all, and Seeker DNF'd in P7, so they will indeed retake the lead in the Constructors, should
Oh my
Kingsman
God.
keep it clean.
Phantominum spin and also reset to track, which is probably going to be another 5 seconds, or is it 10 seconds these days? So that's going to be his chance for the podium gone. Also, I was asked to tell Daddy time penalty. I'm pretty sure this is a 3 second for corner cutting.
Yes, I do believe it was.
Yes, both penalties here are 3 seconds.
It's not been a pretty race by any means. I think Kingsman is going to be driver of the day. He's coming home with a nearly 6.5 second gap here. This just looks comfortable, cruising round through the second sector and into the third. Set to win here in Australia from 11th in the grid. Just more or less, aside from potential contact with Nitro, kept it clean, kept it in the lines, and is going to take home first place. P1, provided obviously no significant errors through here. Daddy potentially should really make it P2. Great result for him in the Haas, even with that penalty added on. Kingsman over the line. Sensational race for him and for McLaren. Daddy P2. Again here coming up in P3. Phantominum could have been so much more on for him. Yeah. P4, Thuber P5, and Astral up the line P6, but fastest lap for him.
Yeah, it's a nice little extra point. I mean, McLaren's still going to be content with this. Seeker, of course, I think is also not going to receive points. Because I don't think we had crossed the 90% race distance yet, which is required to be driven. So yeah, McLaren getting a huge dub in the Constructors today. And yeah, honestly, this was just a wild race. I don't want to say like, let's see how real drivers are gonna do it in a few minutes, because like no disrespect on the challenge here, but like I expect a lot from the Elite boys tonight. They are some of the fastest on this game, and yeah, we're gonna see how well they're gonna do. But oh well.
Yeah, messy. Surely we're gonna have more than half the grid finish the race, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
Surely.
I mean, there wasn't much more in the real F1 race. Let's be real here. I think there were like only 12 cars or something coming through, but Yeah, this one was a proper Challenger tier experience. In the end, 6 finishers, Kingsman, Daddy, Mr. Genya, Phantomina, Duber, and Astral with the fastest lap as well, are the only ones who are gonna get points. For whatever reason, Nitro is getting points in P9 here, but don't ask me why. And yeah, that's been it for Challenger, basically. We actually have a little bit of time. We're done early. Australia going very quick here. Quarter past is when we're gonna be back with Elite. So yeah, you got some nice 10 minutes of break or something. Grab a snack, grab a drink or something. And we'll be back in a few minutes.